For years, Imo State was often associated with deteriorating infrastructure, power challenges, and a struggling public sector. But under Governor Hope Uzodinma, a different development story is emerging. From roads and electricity to technology, healthcare, and large-scale economic infrastructure, the administration has pursued projects designed not only to improve Owerri, but to reposition Imo for investment and industrial growth. In July 2026, a presidential communications team and more than 40 journalists toured several completed and ongoing projects across the state, with officials describing the scale of infrastructure development as significant. But which project stands out? Here are 7 major projects and initiatives that could make even the most skeptical observer reconsider the story of Imo State. Imagine an industrial zone where energy, manufacturing, oil and gas services, and logistics converge. That is the ambition behind the Orashi Special Energy Oil and Gas Free Zone. The Federal Oil and Gas Free Zones Authority identifies Orashi as one of Nigeria's newest oil and gas free zones, established to operate as an international gas hub for downstream investment. Located around the Oguta and Ohaji Egbema axis, the project is designed to attract industrial investment by combining strategic energy resources with investment incentives. The significance goes beyond another government construction project. If successfully developed at scale, Orashi could create an ecosystem where energy supports industries, industries create jobs, and jobs generate a new economic activity. This is why the project could become one of Imo's most consequential long-term bets. Perhaps one of the most unconventional projects in Imo is the Imo Digital City. Here, the focus is not on roads or concrete, it is technology. The facility operates as a digital innovation and entrepreneurship hub with training, startups, technology, development, and device assembly taking place within the complex. According to Imo State's Ministry of Digital Economy and e-governance, the facility has become a center for digital skills, innovation and technology-driven businesses. Recent reports also documented smartphones and other electronic device assembly taking place at the facility. The state says more than 75,000 young people have been trained through its digital skills program. That changes the conversation because the real value of Digital City may not simply be the building. It is the human capital being created inside them. One of Imo's biggest economic challenges has always been electricity, and the Uzodinma administration has attempted to tackle that problem through the Orashi electricity project. The first phase was inaugurated in early 2026, including electricity infrastructure designed to improve supply and support economic activity. The strategy is significant because reliable electricity is not merely about lighting homes. It is about factories staying open. It is about businesses reducing dependence on diesel generators. It is about hospitals generating more efficiently. And it is about making industrial projects such as the Orashi Free Zone more attractive to investors. The bigger question is whether the system can eventually deliver the reliable electricity at scale. If it does, this could become one of the foundations of Imo's industrial transformation.
For years, epileptic power supply has posed a major challenge to businesses in Imo State, with small and medium-scale enterprises accounting for over 50% of economic activity in the state. To confront this challenge head-on, the Imo State government embarks on a power infrastructure project through the Orashi Electricity Company. As part of the Jubilee celebration, sons and daughters of the state gather for the inauguration of the power facilities, signaling a major intervention by the government to reverse years of unreliable electricity supply. The newly completed project includes a 15-kilometer 33 kV transmission line, an 11 kV distribution network injection substation with a capacity of 15 MVA, designed to deliver stable electricity to Owerri and environs. Governor Hope Uzodinma attributes the success of the project to reforms in Nigeria's power sector, particularly the Electricity Act of 2023, which empowers states to invest directly in power infrastructure.
Early last year, I assured Imo people that my administration will be on course to deliver on its promise of power reliability to drive the economy of our dear state. It is therefore a thing of joy that we are here today for the commissioning of the first phase of Light Up Imo project by our Orashi licensed electricity company.
With assurances of expansion to other parts of the state, the Light Up Imo project is being positioned as a cornerstone for industrial growth, job creation, and improved quality of life for residents. Eji Topakutei, Channels Television News.
Another project designed to change Imo's image is the new Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu International Convention Center. The center represents a move beyond traditional government infrastructure. Its purpose is to position Owerri as a destination for major conferences, exhibitions, corporate events, and international gatherings. The facility was commissioned in September 2025, while later reports indicated further expansion and development around the convention center complex. For a state seeking more internally generated revenue, this matters. Large conferences bring visitors. Visitors require hotels, restaurants, transportation, and entertainment. Businesses follow money. And when the city becomes capable of hosting major events, it becomes more visible to investors. The ICC, therefore, is not simply a building. It is part of a broader attempt to reposition Owerri as a commercial and event destination. Perhaps no government project is more visible to ordinary citizens than roads. And this is where the Uzodinma administration has made one of the biggest claims. In 2025, the governor said his administration had completed more than 120 roads across Imo State. The projects include major corridors such as the Owerri-Okigwe route, the Owerri-Obowo to Umuahia corridor. In July 2026, the presidential media team specifically inspected the completed 56-kilometer Okigwe to Owerri road and the 36-kilometer Owerri-Obowo Umuahia road. This project matters because roads connect everything else. They connect farms to market, workers to businesses, manufacturers to customers, and communities to hospitals and schools. If the roads remain properly maintained, their economic impact could extend far beyond the construction period. Then comes one of the most ambitious pieces of the puzzle, the Egbema Power plant. The project has existed for years, but the Uzodinma administration has pushed for its rehabilitation and completion as part of the wider Orashi power strategy. The plant is designed around a capacity of roughly 378 megawatts alongside transmission and substation infrastructure. But here is where accuracy matters. As of 2026, the plant should not be described as fully completed and operational. Reports continue to describe work around the Egbema facility and associated infrastructure. That actually makes the project even more interesting, because if the remaining work is successfully completed and the generated power can be transmitted and distributed effectively, Egbema could become an important piece of Imo's ambition to build an energy-backed industrial economy. The prize is not simply electricity, the prize is industrialization.
By the end of this week, we are going to complete our energy needs assessment, and we are going to sign a gas sale and purchase agreement with an oil gas processing plant. The state intends to take about 100 million scof of gas from them to power our power plant in Egbema, which is 378 megawatts, the upcoming fertilizer plant, the methanol plant, the petrochemicals, and the LNG in the Orashi Energy Special Zone. We have a company called Watersmith that are going to take 30 million scof from there. Watersmith is also doing 75 megawatts of power, and they have their own industrial park. We have about 75 companies have indicated interest that they'll take up spaces there.
Perhaps the project most capable of changing perception is in the healthcare. The reconstructed Imo Specialist Hospital in Umuguma now houses the Imo Robotics and Oncology Center. And in August 2026, the facility achieved a major milestone. The first reported robotic-assisted surgery was performed there. This is significant because the advanced medical technology has traditionally been concentrated in a small number of major medical centers. For patients, the potential benefit is enormous. Instead of traveling abroad for certain complex procedures, some patients could increasingly have access to advanced treatment closer to home. The The hospital's development therefore represents more than a new medical facility. It is part of a larger attempt to reduce medical tourism, attract specialists, and position Imo as a healthcare destination in the southeast. And that could ultimately be one of the administration's most important legacies. So will this project change your mind about Hope Uzodinma's administration? The answer depends on what happens next. The evidence already shows completed roads, an operational digital innovation hub, a new international convention center, and a specialist hospital now associated with robotic surgery. But other ambitions, particularly around Egbema Power and the wider Orashi energy ecosystem, still require completion, sustained investment, and measurable results. And that distinction matters because infrastructure is not ultimately judged by how impressive it looks at commissioning. It is judged by whether factories open, electricity becomes reliable, businesses grow, hospitals save life, and ordinary citizens experience a better quality of life. Imo may be undergoing a major transformation, but the real test is whether these projects can move from impressive construction stories to lasting economic results. And that is the story worth watching. But this may only be the beginning. From roads and digital technology to healthcare, power, and industrial infrastructure, Imo is betting heavily on projects that could reshape its economic future. The question is no longer simply what has been built. The bigger question is, will this investment deliver the jobs, businesses, electricity, and opportunity that Imo people expect? What do you think? Are this project enough to change your perception about Hope Uzodinma's administration? Drop your opinion in the comments. And if you want more documentaries or covering the project, cities, and economic transformation happening across Southeast Nigeria, subscribe to 1010 Media, turn on notification, and share this video because we are documenting African stories today for tomorrow. This is 1010 Media. See you in the next documentary.